What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to another trade recap. And usually in these trade recaps, I have some trades to show you guys. But in this week, it's only Tuesday, but there were no opportunities to get in. And I'm going to show you guys what I mean by this, and why I actually stayed out of the market. And even now, like, we ran to one of the targets that I was mentioning last week that I was aiming for on the daily time frame, which was this bearish FEG. And then obviously now we want to see it close above this fair value gap and go higher. But I was honestly really looking forward towards taking a trade to this daily fair value gap, because if you know that it's likely to drop to it, you get in before and you're already out of the position, and then it could continue going higher if it closes above, but you're basically already done with your trade. And that's what I was looking for. And I woke up today a little upset because I'm looking at the chart and I realized that it ran to my target from 1 a.m. in my time, and I was just already asleep. So it was a little bumming out because last night the price action was pretty bad and I just decided not to trade at all. So it was to my surprise that I wake up and it's at the target. It ran over 700 pips. It's a little upsetting when this happens because Monday's price action was absolutely terrible, and I was talking about it in one of the videos where there was basically no fair value gaps, and it was just immediately rebalancing everything from London session, consolidation, even this poor price action. And then in this day, right, we finally start seeing some stuff, some fair value gaps, some momentum, and I saw a lower target on the 4-hour, which I shared in the Telegram, which was this bearish fair value gap, which became an IFEG, and it never tapped back into it. And so we also had the previous day low, which had no wick, and we love to see that rebalanced. So if I saw this target below and right below it is an IFEG, I was like, okay, it's definitely going to run in there. And that's where I was confident that I would have been able to actually buy from, because that would have been a really high probability entry in the discount. And it just respected this bullish one up here. It never tapped into the lower one and then started running. So I was like, oh, it's probably going to tap back into it tomorrow, close bearish, and then we'll get another opportunity in the next day. And then it just starts continuing to run, and I wake up and this move ran 700 pips. So from 3,200 basically to 3,276. It's already above the daily fair value gap. So that's a huge move, and it's a little upsetting when you miss out on it, especially because there was it was so clear that it was going to go up. There was all these highs. I just didn't want to enter a bad position up here when all I needed to do was wait a little bit more for it to run and tap into it, So how do you know when not to trade? It's when you see that it's kind of consolidating. There's a target below and it's not running into it. In this case, you just kind of take a step back. Even though I missed this move, I understand that it's part of my system to actually get into high probability entries, and I'm still going to get an opportunity. Once this daily candle closes, if it closes above, then we're going to know that price is likely going to respect this IFEG and continue running up higher. We do have a bearish IFEG to the left, but I believe this one's a little more significant because we also have some targets up here. So that's my narrative, and I was just kind of upset, and I wanted to make a video just kind of letting you guys know that I don't think there was much opportunity. I wouldn't personally ever get in off of a trade like this when there's a target below that we like to see hit all the time, and then IFEG, which would be just a little bit better in the discount, and then the highs as well. So it was just a really beautiful trade that I could have gotten into, but I just wasn't confident enough. I wanted to get a better RR position, and so I kind of waited out. Now I just got to tell myself that it was okay to do that. It's okay to sit out, especially because it was 1 a.m. I don't even want to be staying up that late to catch a trade. Obviously, I could have just held the positions, layered in some small ones and aimed for the target. But honestly, I had no idea that it was going to run up because it was just terrible price action. And we finally started getting some IFEGs, but it wasn't enough for me to get in. The timing wasn't very good on them, and even the beginning of London session was running in the opposite direction. So I was like, oh, it's definitely going to actually run and draw down into this. So I just stayed out of the market, and I'm happy with that because at the end of the day, took no trades. While I didn't make any money, it kind of sucks. You think about the what could have, and that often hurts you more than regret, where you actually enter and lose money. Because at that point you enter or lose money, you're like, oh, well, it was just not the time yet, right? But when you don't enter, you don't lose anything, and you don't make anything, I think that hurts a little bit more. But yeah, I'm going to be looking for more opportunities once this daily candle comes to a close and opens up as a bullish IFVG. All right, catch you guys in the next trade recap.